Senator Cantwell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is such an important issue. It wasn't what I was going to ask questions about, but I do want to bring up the point. I mean, this committee just passed a major infrastructure investment bill and a CHIPS and Science Act, and it is about allowing innovation to happen in more places than just San Francisco and Seattle. It is about the unleashing of the innovation economy across the United States. Well, I guarantee you, you have to have airports. Some number, I don't know whatever, it's a high number. It's like 80% of all economic development happens within 10 miles of an airport. So we're going to figure out how to get this, and I don't know that it's going to be all essential air service. I don't know, but Wenatchee deserves to have air cover, and so does other places throughout the United States that represent these markets. Wenatchee is our Apple economy, and they have to have coverage, and so do other places. I don't know if my colleague Senator Thune has been here, but he's been big on this, and so we can't let what I would call key economic engines at smaller airports across the United States be strangled because of the pilots. We've got to figure out a solution. Okay. Captain Ambrosia, I did want to ask about yesterday and what happened at the safety summit that was held, and the NTSB investigating 6 close calls at runways around the country and investigating 2 wrong-way landings last year and 2 separate severe turbulence incidents in the same day in Hawaii last December. So we heard from the NTSB chairwoman, Hamady, about what she's referring to. One of the things the committee also did in the safety bill was to say we want trend reports. We want to know. We here want to understand the trends so that we can do our oversight job. So what NTSB is saying is there are open FAA issues that are recommendations about what should be implemented because of these patterns, these troubling patterns of near misses. For example, NTSB has called for an expanded use of technology air service detection systems, which is Model X, or airport surface surveillance capability, ASSC, which helps the air traffic controller track the movement of aircraft and vehicles that would interfere with runway operations. It also alerts controllers when a plane is lining up to land on a taxiway instead of a runway. They get an alert. This technology is currently used at 44 airports across the country, including at JFK, where the ASDEX helped avoid a collision on January 13th. So we have this technology at SeaTac, and since its implementation since 2018, it's prevented pilots from mistakenly landing in the wrong direction. This is according to data 50 different occasions. So I want to ask you, Captain Ambrosia, do you believe that implementing the NTSB recommendations for runway safety technology could enhance safety at airports? Yes or no?
Yes, there's no doubt. It's related to funding. So,
okay. Should we establish a requirement for airplanes landing at primary airports to be equipped with systems that alert pilots when an airplane is not aligned on the runway? Yes or no?
There's so many advancements in technology. Pilots embrace technology, so anything that helps make our job safer, we absolutely support.
Mandate technology for cockpit systems that provides and alerts pilots when an airplane is not aligned with the intended runway surface for landing at primary airports. Yes, okay, thank you. So I think this is where we are. Requiring all airports which schedule passenger service a ground improvement safety system that will prevent runway incursions and provide direct warning capabilities to flight crew.
Yes, again, it's related to funding. We support broad-based funding to the FAA. It's not just these specific items. They have a long-term plan. They need funding for national airspace improvements. We have all these new operators coming in with UAS. It's a broader topic than just ground surveillance, but that's a start, absolutely.
Well, I think what we're seeing here and feeling across these many stories is that we have to have the highest safety standards, and we have to have the investment in modern equipment that is going to give us those safety standards.
Absolutely.
So that is what we're going to be pushing for here. I also wanted to ask, specifically, on the workforce side, my colleague here who's chairing our hearing this morning has the Troop Talent Act. I wanted to ask Ms. Van Meulen about what Alaska has been doing to try to get that workforce. But what I feel like we need to do is we're almost there. We're not quite there. There's still something missing between DOD and commercial carriers on how to take this workforce and get them delivered.
Senator, absolutely. Streamlining the pipeline is essential with regards to certification, for example, but also expanding the GI Bill to support more careers in aviation and specifically pilots. The funding, increasing the funding in that area would be beneficial to facilitate that transition.
Yeah, I'm going to let Senator Duckworth talk a little bit more about her experience for the record. I really want it on the record. But she's saying, as a military person, she got the training that was consistent with what would give her the education on the outside while she was in the military. So now, as I believe these people come out, they don't have that relevant, it doesn't translate, and then we're doing an FAA OneOff certificate for every single person to see if they qualify or not qualify. We need a more standardized system. But one of the reasons why I support Phil Washington is because I feel like he's not going to go along with the groupthink of everything's okay. He's someone coming from the outside. But on this issue of workforce, which is the issue here and is the issue writ large in the FAA, I feel like at his hearing, he talked about this was one of his main objectives, which I was glad to hear. I feel like this is our best shot right now at a workforce, is to get the DOD people that are practically trained to get the training, whatever it is, so that they can move into the commercial space. Is this our best opportunity?
I think absolutely. What I was referring to is people who are not yet pilots in the military benefiting from GI loans to become a pilot outside of the military. But yes, Senator.
Yeah, okay, great. And Captain Ambrosio, do you support Mr. Washington?
Thank you for the question. The FAA needs long-term, stable leadership. I've had a conversation with Mr. Washington. I would like to say I appreciate his commitment to safety, his commitment to standards, and his commitment to keeping pilots in the flight deck. I believe that Mr. Washington can be an effective FAA administrator.
Great, thank you. Well, thank you very much for the hearing, Madam Chair. I think we have a lot of work to do. The witnesses have given us a lot of thought. Look, this is a problem we can solve. But as you said, we can't lower the standards. In many cases, I think we've seen here that we need to raise the standards. But we have to figure out how to build this pipeline more successfully and give American cities really access to good aviation access so that they can continue. They can't be held hostage to an airline that just wants to pay dividends. We have to get the system right and get air transportation right, and that'll help America overall. Thank you, Madam Chair.